Hi class, Jolene here. We're going to learn how to size and crop an image to a specific size that has been requested. In this case, it's either a 5 by 7 or a 7 by 5 at 200 dpi. And we're going to be using the rule of thirds to make it as visually appealing as possible. This particular one, your photo number one, the size and crop is a little bit different than the other three that you're going to be doing, and that you're going to be saving two different images for this. So the very first thing you want to do once you open the image is to save it as is. Save it at just the way it is when you open it. So we're going to go to File, Save As. And I've already created a folder to save it in, and then I'll just click, I'll leave the file, no, I won't leave the file name, I'll save it as it's requested, which is first dot last, so in my case it would be Jolene Crowley, number 4, PhotoFix, or ORIG for original. I don't need to put the period in there, and I want to make sure I'm saving it as a JPEG. So I'll click on save and say OK. So now that's in there. And now I'm going to crop it and save it again as the cropped image. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that this image is bigger than the size that I'm going to crop it to. So I'm going to go to image size, and I can see that it's a little over 14 by about 9.5 at 300 dpi. And we're definitely going smaller than that. We're going to go to about half that size. So we know that this image is large enough to crop and not lose the resolution that it is right now. So I'm going to click on OK since I know that to be the case. And now I'm going to click Now I'm going to click the crop tool, which is right here. And Photoshop, since we have very specific specifications for what size we want this to be, Photoshop makes this very easy. Notice we have new things up here for the crop tool. So I'm going to make sure that I have this one checked, width, height by resolution. It's going to do all the math for me. So I'm going to type in here, I want my final image to be horizontal. So I'm going to make my biggest number, put my biggest number in first, which is 7. I'm going to make sure I type in IN for inches. If I wanted it to be pixels, I would type in PX. But in this case, we've been asked to size it by inches. So I'm going to type in 7 IN for inches, and then 5 IN, and then 200 for my pixels per inch. Now I'm going to start moving the corner here to change my, to start cropping it. And I want the focus of my image to be these cows. This is where I want the viewer to look when they first start looking at this image. So if you've read about the rule of thirds, which you should have by now, you'll see that that focus is right here in this apex of the rule of thirds. Could be here, here, or here, but this is where, for this image, I want that focus to be. So now I'm going to click this check mark that will set it into place, and now I'm going to confirm that I've done it at the exact correct size. So I'm going to click on image and size, and I can see that it is 7 by 5 by 200. If I click on pixels here, I can see that that equates to 1400 by 1000 at 200. So I'll click on OK. And now I'm going to save this image again. Go to File, Save As. And this time I'm going to name it the same thing, my first dot last, and be your first dot last, number 4, PhotoFix. But this time I'm going to delete that part and put size crop here. And I'm going to change this to a JPEG and click on Save and OK. So now if I go to my Finder to make sure I have both those images in there, Here's that folder that I saved them in there. There's the one that's the original. And you can, when I hover over it, you can see it's the original size, 4200 by 2800. And this one is the one that I cropped, and it's 14 by 1000, which equates to 7 by 5. So both of these images will be turned in for the photo one. All the other images, you're just going to be turning in one image, and they'll be Photoshop files.